At the top of the Emnic religious structure, well apart from God, Emno, and the Ascended, the Erimon, sits the Cardinals, leaders of the church. At the bottom sits the regular knights who have pledged their lives to the church, working directly for them instead of for a family or a free company. And in the middle of the hierarchy sits the knight priest. To become one, you must first be an accomplished knight, an Amora, in your own right. Then you must devote yourself to the study of the naming tales, the stories of Emno. Emnic culture has a strong oral storytelling tradition, but the priests strive to keep the oldest written versions of the stories alive, cross-referencing ancient texts and interpreting old artwork. Different sources constantly contradict each other, due to the isolated nature of the Emnic states. Keeping any sort of common or synchronized records have proven almost impossible. As an example, what year is it? The Emnic calendar resets when Emno appears to take the most worthy knights with him to fight alongside him in the next world. Yes, they believe in literal ascension. The last time this happened, the entire population of the city of Mardia disappeared overnight. 116 years ago, according to Edelmarkian priests. 114 according to those of Severness. The clergy of Volkswood doesn't accept it as an actual ascension at all and still count from the previous ascension, and are now in the year 193. Erden priests claim the famous White Swan of Erden ascended 82 years ago, while most other historians say he simply died and disappeared in the forest during his campaign. As you can tell, it's a mess. This is Fair Beris of Werns. As a knight priest, he has given up his family name. I wanted his design to convey a lawful evil vibe, clad from head to toe in the light colors of Emno, and with an overly friendly look that is clearly attempting to hide something sinister. What's with the horns? Isn't that a typical Aegir thing? Well, he is from Werns, an ancient state, one of the very oldest of the Emnic cities, and as such they hold on to some strange and outdated rituals and customs. That headpiece is one of them. Apart from functioning as religious historians, the knight priests are also recruiters for the church, organizing gatherings and holding sermons. And although it's not directly sanctified by the law, they have something of an inquisitorial role too. Preaching the messages of Emno's counterpart, the she-god Kana, isn't strictly illegal, but Emnic priests have been known to take the law into their own hands and put a bloody end to such practices. The next character is Sharfax ban Arkovishta, a Ronmarian Sacrificatrix, or blood magic Knightess, one who offers up a life to God in exchange for extreme battle prowess. 30 years old, she is one of the first generation of Ronmari born on Morn, 1 year after the islanders first set foot on the continent. She is part of a group of new Sacrificati, those whose families never belonged to this warrior class in the past. After the disaster that originally befell the Ronmari, and their perilous escape to Morn, the Arkovishtas, the Ronmari leaders, needed to rebuild their forces as they established their presence on this new continent. Thus, many of the Ronmari who'd never been considered before were allowed to take on the blood magic, but not without paying a price. Like the Night Priest, she has given up her family name. Now her name is Ban Arkovishta, and those first 3 letters are very important. Ban. They mean that she is not part of the Arkovishtan family. She won't inherit any land or titles, but she serves them for life. It's likely she never had any say in this, as the path to becoming a skilled Sacrificatrix is easier the earlier it starts. Preferably as soon as the candidate is deemed strong enough to handle the initial ritual, which can be as early as 10 years of age. Regarding the design, as an Arkovishtan Sacrificatrix, she is of course richly outfitted, with a full harness of plate, but it has some of the typical traditional Ronmari attributes. Though they are sworn into the Emnic faith now, the Ronmari used to worship a heron god, and this ornament on the chest is inspired by the bird's plumage. The armor is partly held together with these cords, reminiscent of samurai armor, and is another little detail I mostly use for Ronmari or other older designs. Ronmari also prefer cloth wraps over leather belts to suspend their gear. Sharfax is carrying a medical kit, a dagger, pouches with scrolls with written prayers used in the rituals, and the Sacrificati's signature weapon, the large sword spear, called a serpent. For once I actually drew a helmet too. All knights in this setting have helmets, of course, but if I draw them I won't get to practice faces. There are many amazing helmets in history to take inspiration from, and while some of them can look a bit goofy, I love them all. I think I struck a good balance with this one. Put together her great serpent, her blood magic, and her terrifying bird-faced helmet, and I think she'll put the fear of God in hers and Arkovishtan's enemies. There is no way around it. Amnonites are lousy sailors. They prefer to have 2 feet firmly planted on solid ground, with their enemy ahead of them. The shores of Morn are home to terrifying creatures, and while at sea even the bravest knights can't do much to stop them from silently appearing from the deep, flipping their vessels upside down and snatch them up as they sink to the bottom. Emnic seafaring is mostly limited to rafts or punts, with long stakes used to push them along shallow waterways or along the coasts. There are only a few standouts among the Emnics. The river traders of Great Lackley. Their city wall encompasses a lake cut off from the surrounding waters, and here they navigate from house to house in elegant gondolas. The Maraki Lacklian whalers, who hunt in the relatively calm ocean north of the Kermes, from their island boats, giant rafts. And the infamous sailor-explorer of Savernus, second husband of the Wardslayer, captain of the Century Expedition, Adriano Mons, the Knight of the Brine. This character is the father of Valeria Rossa, the main character of my worldbuilding project. He hails from a long line of famous Amnonites. His great-grandfather, Woden Mons, was the first to circumnavigate, by foot, the Mornish continent. Charlotte Mons led the Savernus army as a fair general and tactician in her day, and Tyto Mons mapped the Earthen Cove and spotted the mythical sea serpent. The Ronmari left their island home on 3 great galleys. One was lost during the voyage, and another is beached outside of Edelmark. The third has been repaired and reworked as an exploration vessel, and will carry the greatest Emnic expedition ever into the unknown waters east of Morn. The ship has been named the Century, after the 100 Sacrificati knights who will be part of the voyage, an unprecedented number. Although most older Ronmari are skilled sailors, the Abramon of the Emnic Concord have demanded that a native of Morn would lead this expensive voyage, and Adriano has been selected. It remains to be seen if he can keep control over the bold Sacrificati, and what they'll encounter in the distant seas. I wanted his design to convey confidence and experience, and a mix of gallant knightliness and some suave pirate captainy vibes. He is successful and rich, so he has a full, well-fitting articulated armor. His family crest is a thick, golden bundle of wheat. I always appreciate when heraldry features things other than ferocious animals. His city-state of origin, the Duchy of Savernus, rose to prominence thanks to rich mines and bountiful harvests, not conquest, so his family heraldry reflects this as well. I love his little companion. The monkey is named Cesare, which is the local pronunciation of Cesar, which is the name of his wife's 3rd husband. That's weird. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching.